We took the Explanar and we took it to our accounts, and we took a very aggressive position with our account. And we said, we'll put this with you for 30 days. If it doesn't do what we said it would do for 30 days in terms of increasing sales, helping your students, helping fittings, we'll pick it up. And so we're 25 for 25 at this point of people who have said they want to keep it, and we've now have an account buying their second Explanar.
I think it's going to be fantastic for our business. It's going to bring our students back to work with us other than just hitting balls on the range. And sometimes when they come back and just hit balls on the range, they're not really doing what the teacher taught them. So this way they can get on the Explanar, take 5 or 10 minutes and get their muscle memory back, and then go out and practice what they've been taught.
You know, the people at Explanar are working very hard to try and create programs, promotional programs, purchasing programs that allow the professional to use the Explanar not only to make their students play better golf, but to drive more revenue for the professional with their lessons.
We provide promotional materials so that they can advertise that Explanar's arrived at their venue. And what it also does, it encourages people to go and trial Explanar at their venue. We have national promotions where we encourage, through incentives, pupils to visit their Explanar centre and to have a lesson with their PGA professional. And we're keen to get as many people on Explanar because we know when people get on it, they're hooked and they'll come back again and again.
When the world's best coach thinks Explanar is special, that really means something.
I don't get paid 1 cent to stand here and talk to you about it. I'm talking to you about it because you invented something that I think is the best training aid I've ever seen. And the bottom line is it works. And when something works, why wouldn't you have it?
The impact that Explanar is having on pupils across the world says that this product is going to have a dramatic impact on the future of golf.
You can go back over my building and I must have 50 different training and teaching aids in there. Do we use them all? Sure. At some point in time, I've probably used every one of them. This thing here eliminates all those others because this gives a guy a feeling of what you're trying to do. The other good thing about this is you can take a beginner, a male or female that's never played before, put them in here, put the roller in their hands, and just let them start moving this thing. And guess what? They've got a feeling of what the golf swing is. I mean, we've never had anything like that that works like that, that's that easy.
We've seen the dramatic effect that it's had on both established golfers and people who have just turned up at the range almost for the very first time, have no idea really how to try and build up emotion. We've had them in Explanar for 5 minutes and suddenly it looks like they've been playing for several months, if not years. It really is that dramatic.
I think this is one of the best training aids I've seen.
When you have a product that can take somebody, for example, who's been slicing for 15 years and we can have them hitting a soft draw in 5 minutes, surely people have to sit up and take notice.
Hey, Explanar, baby, that's what it's all about.
Explanar's definitely a no-brainer.
I think it's one of the most effective devices I've ever seen.
I'd like to have one.
We review over 100 new training products in the golf industry each year, and the Explanar is by far the most effective swing training device I've ever seen.
Give it a try. I guarantee you're going to like it.
One of the great things about Explanar is how versatile it is. You can teach your pupils intentional draw and intentional fade shots. So let's deal with the intentional draw shot first. When I step into Explanar and present the power roller on the hoop, I take my stance. The center line is exactly between my feet. Now you'll see that the lines on the stance map are circular, and that's for a very good reason. If I go round the circle 1 footprint on the golf course, that would be great preparation for a fade. But in Explanar, it has the effect of putting the backswing behind me. So when I make the power roller move to the top of the backswing, there's loads of forearm rotation and I get to plane really easily. When I come through normally, look, the power roller hasn't made the complete journey. So in fact, I've got to go back and really work the forearm through. Back on plane and rotate strongly to plane. Now get your pupil to feel that and quickly take him to the practice tee and tee a ball up. And then just watch, that ball will go strongly from right to left. Having used the power roller on Explanar to develop forearm rotation and draw spin feeling, it's now time to do a golf shot. Here we are with the ball teed up and I'm using a 6 iron. Now notice at address I have a ball to show me the ball target line, but also a semicircular rail. That's because it's very important to take the correct stance if we're going to intentionally control the ball with draw spin. So here's a standard setup: club, grip and feet. Now to hit a ball to right or into out for draw, we need a closed stance. Lots of people feel that moving the right foot back is a closed stance, but in fact the ball position is now a long way outside my left foot. A nice idea is to see the circle here and just walk around the circle one footprint. Now I've correctly closed my stance and the ball's position is still intact for a 6 iron. So let your pupil do this. The first shot he hits will probably go to the right of target. That's not a bad thing. One of my favourite little teaching phrases is the swing sends the ball and the blade bends the ball. So having started the ball to the right of the target, by correctly walking around the circle, it's now time to impart some topspin or some forearm rotation. And a minute ago on Explanar, the backswing behind us, working the forearm more, that's where the draw spin feeling comes. So here we go, aiming the club and building the grip, walking around the circle, one footprint. That's going to send the ball to the right. What we need now is a bit of forearm rotation and draw spin. Here we go. There we go. And obviously to help your pupil, it's a good idea to tee the ball up with a mid-iron. Well, Gary, this is your first introduction to the Explanar, and I'm going to show you how to hold the power roller at the right height. And when I've got you to take your stance within the Explanar, we're going to set the Explanar plane fin at your optimum swing plane. So the first thing to do is to put the roller with the tip of the power roller just over the hoop, and then you take your grip. Introduce the left hand in the fist with a parallel thumb, the pad of the thumb resting on the rubber. We now introduce the right hand in the fingers, and the right hand fits the left thumb perfectly. Can you see that?
Yes.
And we soften your right elbow. Now if you look, the roller is resting opposite the centre line and your feet are either side of the centre line. So it's as though you had a central ball position. You happy with that?
Feels good.
Good. So you stay nice and relaxed and we just keep the right elbow soft.
Can do the right.
Okay, Gary, so we're going to make sure that Explanar is set for your biomechanical swing plane, your optimum swing. So we take the plane sensor and we ensure that the plane, as you can see, if I rest the plane sensor not quite onto your chest. So what I'm going to do is adjust, explain it a little bit, flatten it, and now you can see that the plane sensor, this yellow cord runs through the middle of your breastbone. So when we start to swing, that's your biomechanical optimum plane. Okay, so we've got the power roller in the right place and you've taken a stance with the roller in the centre of your feet. I'm going to give you some help now and start you to swing. So the early part of the swing is going to come from your shoulders and your arms. If you'll focus on the ball, and that'll help you start the swing. So a little way back. And if you can relax, feel the weight of the roller working for you. That's superb. Nice and comfortable. You don't need any tension at all. And it's always best, you'll get the best results from Explanar and the power roller if you work smoothly and slowly. Because when it's smooth and slow, you can get a real feel for what you're trying to achieve. I'm going to step out of Explanar, Gary, and let you repeat that by yourself. You keep going without me, back and through, resting the power roller on Explanar at all times. Good. So you should be feeling width of arc, a wide swing rather than a long swing. Wider, that's very good. And Gary, come to rest. Well done. So the first part of the swing really was generated through the shoulders and the arms and the power roller. The next phase is to understand wrist hinge. Now many people think that this is wrist action in golf. It isn't. It's forearm rotation. I'm going to use the power roller now to show you what wrist hinge in the golf swing really is. This is wrist hinge. Can you feel that?
I sure can.
Yeah. And using the power roller and a good grip as you have, you'll find about 90 degrees of wrist hinge between your forearm and the power roller.